please remember to leave a like, a comment, share the video about, and if you haven't already, subscribe. Thank you. Well, isn't this just fantastic? Captain's log, subdates 230420.1. As we head towards our new destination, we need to start moving the clone crew and also stow the Gloriana. Now, if only there were a large-ass Ferengi around that can't consent to anal storage. Welcome everyone to the exhibition of stupid people. Today we're going to start with Just Stop Oil, because we haven't really given them much time this year. They haven't really factored too much. Apparently their version of a sabbatical was quite an extended one, no doubt to bask in the glory that is mainland Europe countries abolishing nuclear power in favour of brown coal. Because they're environmentally friendly, everyone, and they're totally doing their bit for the environment. Can we go back to a time before all this coal, gas and oil? You know, a time where instead of thinking about the environment, we marvelled at building a 30-foot tower as an engineering masterclass out of dung, because that stuff we can get anywhere. Well, Just Stop Oil have come back, and they have been getting themselves into a little hot bother. They're not wearing as much orange as they used to, but they're still at it, still going strong. At a Herbert Art Gallery and Museum's Dippy the Diplodocus display, a pair entered, which is in Coventry by the way, a pair of Just Stop Oil activists got arrested. The video was released by Just Stop Oil and showed them being tackled by security staff and led away. The West Midlands Police said that 2 people were held on suspicion of conspiracy to cause criminal damage, and 2 large bags of dry paint had been seized. Dry paint is an escalation. It's an escalation because essentially they're trying to make it seem like they're less likely to cause problems. While orange itself is quite a bold colour, still wearing a white t-shirt with Just Stop Oil written on it makes you stand out like a sore thumb. Apparently, they don't know how to blend because they really want the attention. Now, in this particular instance, they were a little more clandestine. They hid their Just Stop Oil t-shirts, but unveiled them as they went to seek to cause damage to Dippy the Diplodocus. One member of staff was shown seizing the man's rucksack while another tackled the woman, telling her to stop it now, do you understand? Just Stop Oil describes itself as a coalition of groups working together to ensure the government commits to halting new fossil fuel licensing and production. You're in the wrong countries, bitch. You should be going to Germany and France. In a statement, one of the activists said they felt they had no choice but to take part in the protest because we are barreling towards suffering mass death and the annihilation of our species. I cannot and will not commit myself to a future of powerlessly watching these horrors unfold. The dinosaurs had no choice. We do. I think you're being a bit too narrow-minded. I firmly believe the Earth is flat and floating on the back of a sky turtle. Is that it? Yeah. I also believe the dinosaurs were intelligent. Fred Flintstone was legit, although Wilma was hot. Her and Betty would have been awesome. Not in the live-action movie, though. No. I think dinosaurs were highly intelligent species. I think that the Hollow Earth is real, and that Godzilla is the king of monsters. Also the master of all Bitcoin, Dogecoin, and sought to abolish NFTs because they're shite. Sticking with them, though, for a minute, because there's another one going on. Now, I love Snooker. It's a good tabletop game. It requires patience, focus, and I really do enjoy playing. I've always enjoyed playing. The World Snooker Championships, the Crucible, which is in Sheffield, are ongoing. During a match, which I was enjoying at the time, between Robert Milkins and Joe Perry, had to be stopped. The game itself had only just gotten underway, in fact. Milkins was leading 11-4, which means bugger all really at the start. Milkins himself is world number 14. Just Stop Oil protester climbed from the stands and onto the surface. Now these tables, snooker tables, are incredibly heavy. The slate required to make the flat surface, yeah, these things weigh a lot. They also require a lot of cleaning. The Just Stop Oil protester appeared to be holding a bag of coloured chalk and decided to fill half the table with it, including all but 4 of the balls on the table, not including the 2 that they were missing. Make of that what you will. Why on earth you want to protest a snooker event in a venue that holds not many people, I can't fathom. It's on the BBC. Oh look, we're going to get some publicity out of it. BBC viewing numbers are going down. Are you sure about that? You've protested a snooker event. Think about what they use to do their job. They use a wooden stick, they play on a mostly wooden framed table with slate and felt. Unless you're now going to tell me all those bowls are made of ivory, I think you might be in the wrong area. And as contemporary artsy-fartsy as this looks, you've just given the umpire an absolute ball ache, because when they reset it, they either reset the entire frame, or the referee has to put every single ball back exactly where they were. What an absolute clusterfuck. I think this is a good way of starting the video, don't you think? Yes? Let's move on before I get into a really strange tangent about snooker, which will bore most of you and drive my views low, which they can get lower. I'd rather they didn't though. Many moons ago, for Halls of Injustice, I spoke of the former Kasabian singer Tom Meighan. Meighan? It doesn't matter. The reason we spoke of him was because his then fiancée, or girlfriend, it doesn't actually matter, they since got married, was a victim of DV at the hands of now TM, which is what he calls himself on stage. He's apparently a trademark. Congratulations. He was yeeted from Kasabian, with Sergio Pizzorno basically taking over lead guitar duties and singing. Tom is doing a solo career. He was recently announced as a performer at a Sheffield indie festival. He's also embarked on a bit of touring of late, and it's been well received. My view has always maintained a certain level of consistency here. I can't support him because of the DV, but I cannot begrudge somebody for trying to rebuild their life. He did commit a crime and it was DV, and of course that makes him less than human for most of the time. But the person who was the victim of it has forgiven him, and they have gotten married and moved on together. It can be argued he has in fact learnt his lesson. And he certainly learnt his lesson when he had Kasabian taken away from him. Let's not forget here that was a guaranteed easy job for the rest of his life since he didn't write any of the songs. He just had to turn up and sing them. Tom has recently announced also a new album due out later this month. Many people have criticised Network and Record Junkie, who are the organisers of the festival, and have since gone to make a statement for allowing him, a convicted domestic abuser, to play at their festival. In their statement, the festival team said they were a small family-run independent business who has an ethos for hosting a diverse range of acts, highlighting support from grassroots music across genres in their store and during live events. Continuing, equally important to us is mental health. We run an annual charity event at Network called Spongefest, with the aim of raising awareness and funds for several mental health charities. With this in mind, we agreed to make Tom our headline act for B-Rate, a co-promoted music event with Away Days. Tom has suffered in the past with publicised mental health issues and admitted to allegations of abuse towards his partner, which contributed to him stepping down from his role as the singer of Kasabian. In no way do our companies believe domestic abuse or abuse of any type is acceptable. Nobody should have to suffer any type of abuse, however we do believe that people deserve a second chance. Tom has been to rehab and is now married to Vicky Ager. He's been confirmed for several festivals up and down the country, including Sheffield, supporting Noel Gallagher and Razorshite, whilst also headlining his own shows at O2 Academies. It has been brought to our attention there is a campaign online asking people to boycott our venue because of Tom's presence. We do not accept that Tom should be cast out from the music community after working hard to better himself. We only ask for the same understanding that is given to the numerous venues across the country that will allow him to perform either as a support act or a headline act. We will continue to support a diverse range of acts and styles as we always have done, and we look forward to welcoming you to our venue for this event and many more events to come. Interesting really, because at the B-Rate festival, artists have started pulling out because Tom is one of the headline acts. And to touch on the statement from them, the organisers themselves, I actually agree with them. He has gone to therapy, he has tried to make right, he shouldn't be simply cast out from the entire industry, or be put in a position, much like commentary I guess, where you're not allowed to try again. There are some people who it can be considered a bit questionable. Hi Creepshow Art, hope you're well. But for the most part, everyone deserves a chance to rebuild. Hell, even Deaf Noodles deserves a chance. Whether he takes it and actually learns and adapts and improves is on him. The same can be said for Tom. Everyone deserves a final chance. You get your first chance, you screw up, you get a last chance. It's not a 3 strikes and out thing, it's 2, at most 2. And Tom's name and his honesty concerning what has happened, being upfront, means he can actually be someone that can encourage more awareness for things that would allow people to lash out. Poor mental health is a part of it. Some people might roll their eyes here, and say once an abuser, always an abuser, please try not to be that black pill boomer for a moment, I'd appreciate it. I'm not a fan of this genre of music generally, and I've heard some of his new stuff. It's not my thing, alright? I can't support him anyway, it goes against my beliefs. But I wouldn't begrudge another person for trying to make something of themselves after righting a wrong. And he righted that wrong with the person who he wronged. That's the most important part. Others pulling out, acting as if this is bad optics, you are jumping the gun and presuming too much. I'll link the Halls of Injustice down below if you're interested in learning more about what he had done. Over the many years we have done exhibitions of stupid people, we have spoken of on a number of occasions the comedian Roy Chubby Brown, aka Royston Vasey, the individual who an entire village was named after in the show League of Gentlemen, a fantastic sitcom by the way. He is known for his very antiquated style when it comes to women, Islam, immigration in general. He is very blunt, and that comedy style has made him very successful over the years. A lot of money made, sold many VHS, many DVDs. He is very successful. It cannot be denied that his success is because he appeals to a very particular type of UK audience. At the age of 78, he doesn't have many years left in the tank to perform, and over the years he's incurred more injuries that have made it harder and harder for him to perform. But he does anyway, because he loves to perform. The character, the act, it's very entertaining if you just sit and watch. The reason I've mentioned him a number of times over the years though is because a number of venues and councils in turn have, removed his ability to perform at those venues. Some of those venues they themselves own, the councils themselves, and they believe that his comedy styles and jokes do not resonate with the wider public, who have in turn protested and said, "Shut up, you silly bitch, we love it," which has annoyed them to no end. And in a number of instances, the councils have had to give him back his permission to perform at those locations. In others, it led to petitions. It's all been a bit of a palaver. Well, Durham County Council revoked his ability to perform at the Empire Theatre in Consett. The venue had told him that he is no longer in its vision for future acts, and that had no plans to book Roy Chubby Brown, which led to his manager, Richie Hoyle, accusing them of acting like a dictatorship. The argument from Richie Hoyle, one that I fully agree with, is that the fans know what they are getting, and the material forms part of Roy Chubby Brown's character, which is not reality. Simply let the people decide. Would that not be a good vision to have for an entertainment venue? Richie also said, "I believe the nature of Roy's show is irrelevant here now. What gives the council the right to decide what people can and can't watch?" Another issue I can agree with. The council themselves haven't actually given an official reason as to why they have decided to revoke his ability to perform at the Empire Theatre. It should be noted, Roy Chubby Brown, unlike other comedians who are around his age range, Roy Chubby Brown still sells out these venues. And that venue capacity in this instance is only 500. It's not a huge venue. Roy Chubby Brown has played to larger audiences and smaller audiences, and he still sells them out. You may not like what he has to say, but he puts bums in seats and makes you money. You might want to appear more, and I guess this word is accurate, progressive, but what you've done is show you're more authoritarian, determining what the people can and can't see. So Richie Hoyle is correct in his analysis of the situation itself. Now, a part of his tour was also going to Stoke. Some believe that while his act is racism and misogyny, that show is actually going ahead, which to some flies in the face of calls to have it removed. A local in Stoke called Caroline Key wrote to her local MP, Joe Gideon, calling for him to be scrapped back in 2021. She pointed to the fact that the Victoria Hall was the scene of the famous, Shall Live gathering in 1940. I don't know what any of that crap is. I'm not familiar with history enough. With Caroline saying, "I'm very concerned that the comedian has been booked to appear at the Victoria Hall. The people of North Staffordshire are rightly proud to have a venue like the Victoria Hall on their doorstep, and many, many people will have memories of great concerts there." Or attending them. Sorry, I misread that. Let's be clear, this is not a comedian who is just a bit controversial or uses language that could be viewed as outdated. His entire act is a stream of unrelenting racism and misogynies. Continuing on for quite a while, by the way, honestly 3 paragraphs worth, you're out of your fucking mind. In this, his show still went ahead, and I will maintain my stance that I've always maintained, that while he is rude, crude, and he makes headlines because people complain about him being rude and crude, he basically makes people laugh. A majority, in fact. You may be a vocal minority, but the majority are laughing and drowning out your complaining of rabble, rabble, rabble buzzwords here. The people who keep giving him publicity, by the way, are the ones that do get him removed from venues. He would fade into a form of obscurity, given more time and the fact he's near the end of his life. But because you keep banning him from locations, more people are going to go and see him, because they're not in favor of your BS. Of removing cause my values. To which Chubby Brown would typically reply to you by calling you just some annoying split ass. I'm not even joking, that's something he said. I have seen the live shows. Not been to them, just to be clear. My former stepdad had VHS of them.